Michelle G here. This is April 13th. I just finished a bunch of stuff into my cross-stitch journals this morning. I have 3 of them. I'm ridiculous, I know. So I was going to take you on a quick little flip through. This journal I actually won. I am a terrible person, so I forgot who made it, but I won it in a giveaway on a Flosstube channel. This is the most amazing, coolest... Oh, I won it from Kelly Bell. Right there. Kelly Bell made it. This is the most amazing, coolest, she handmade this journal, and I have been putting my Halloween cross-stitch finishes in. So I'll tell you what she did and what I did. It's going to be pretty obvious. She's really, really good at journaling, and I just glue things to things. So, cover, obviously, it's all her, all Kelly Bell. Here on the inside, this is her spread, so everything in the background is hers. This little thing is an ornament, and I just drape it over the corner of my journal there. That's my ornament that I designed last year and crowdsourced the model for. So this will not be the model. That's my own. The model will be one that another person stitched. And then this page, this is Kelly Bell. That's a diamond painting that Rosie and I did. And then I finished this tiny pumpkin tag. This was one of the corner motifs from the 2020 Tiny Modernist Halloween sale. And I just finished it onto this little tag. So that just slides in like that. This is this journal is way cooler than my other journal. Page, again, this is all Kelly Bell, and then Rosie and I diamond painted that. This page, this is Fancy Blackett and the Butter Churn by Pineberry Lane. Kristen Plotner of Steel City stitched her and passed her on to me. I finished her on May 9th and sent her to Diana Serrano. I used DMC on Lakeside Linen, and I changed the date to 2020. And that little thing is stitched over one, and so are my initials. And then I put interfacing on the back of this, and then wrote on this tag. And then I just slipped the tag in behind it. Okay. Inside here, this is the fold out. So this is, the background is all Kelly Bell. I have one of the Brooks books, Witches. This one was stitched for me. I did an exchange with Connie and Melina of Count Twice, Stitch Once. And Connie stitched me this. I always write a little... we did a swap in 2019. We arranged it while we were at the Show Me retreat, and it was fun. And then these actually open up to show more stuff. So there's nothing over here on this side. But then this over here, I have Polly the Pirate Witch, also from Brooks Books. Kara of Kay's Cross Stitch had started stitching this and then decided she didn't want to anymore, so she sent it to me and I finished it up. Kara actually read the directions and stitched in 3 strands of DMC over one on this perforated paper, and I just did 1. And then that's all so I have more Pirate Witches that I would like to stitch, but that's all I have right now. And then here's another, that Haunted Mansion again. So this little haunted house with the little ghosties, I opened it up to my patrons, and I gave everybody the pattern and just said, everybody stitch it. So Bobby stitched this one, and she didn't want to keep it, so she sent it to me. So I mounted it on there and then put, that's her note on the inside. And then this one is my most recent finish. This is Nevermore from Lizzie Kate. So I was doing a D-stash video last Sunday, and this little chart came up, and I said, oh, I'm not going to de-stash that right now. I want to stitch it. And then I said, maybe I'll stitch it really fast and pass it on. So 40 people are now on the list. So we named this hashtag the Fellowship of the Traveling Chart. And I put it on some backing. So this is just a scrap of 28 count even weave that someone had dyed. And I used a Dinky Dice. I should make a note in there of what Dinky Dies I did, and then I just put Rick Rack around the edges. It's not fantastic, it's not perfect, but it's fine. And then I have this page to fill. I probably put something on this, and I'll put something on the page behind it. And then this little thing is another ornament that I made. It's from the 2020 Halloween sale from Tiny Modernist, and I finished it like that. This one's actually on the cover of the chart, and it's just hooked in here with the paper clip. And then there's all these little things that are extra that I could write on. And then that's the back. So super cool. I love that journal. Very pretty. Very fun. My next journal is I put things in this big guy this time. So this is just an artist sketch pad. It's a black paper pad. It's 11 by 14. It was my friend Mandy's idea to put things in here. So I put my first few things in. First we have Kikimora, and I frayed her edges and then just glued her down. And the glue is under the stitches. So I'm hoping that this flattens out as it's in the book. So I put a patch in there and some stickers. And then this is the project tracker from S. Ward Designs. I just cut out the informational part and put it on there. These pages aren't completely done. Like, I'll journal in the empty spot, but I like to show you guys before I do all my journaling because I don't necessarily want you to know everything I journal, right? It's a little private. This is something that a friend stitched for us when Wade was going through chemo, what cancer cannot do. So I just I have a lot of feelings about this piece. So I left a lot of blank room for journaling. I'm going to put her information in there. And then I just edged it with some ribbon, some simple ribbon. This one was sent also from a friend. It says, be careful when you blindly follow the masses. Sometimes the M is silent. Yeah. And then I put a little, sent to me in a D-stash, put a little sticker there, and then I'll write some stuff at the bottoms. So this big journal is working out very well. I'm super happy with it because look at this. Boobies apiary, it fit in the big journal. Very excited about that. So I put some bee stickers from my vintage sticker book, and I left a lot of space open. I'm going to put an Amanda May artist design. I saved the cover of this, so I'll put the cover over here, and then I'll do some journaling, and I want to find some trim to go along the edge. But very happy with that. And that's only 4 pages. That's only 4 things on pages in that whole big journal, and I have all the rest of that paper left, so that's excellent. Pardon. And then my favorite journal, the pièce de résistance. This is my journal from A.M. Drake. Sorry. Look how fat it's getting. So that's the journal. That's how fat it is. So the cover, I'm just going to go through this whole thing because it's been a while since I went through the whole thing. The cover is a Not Forgotten Farm chart. Industry is the best cure for melancholy. I did it as a sal with some friends. I stuck it on the cover and edged it in rickrack when I realized that the color I had picked for the floss matched the cover. So very nice. On the first page, I have, this is my design, one of my first Patreon designs. I called this Funky Birds. I did this in April 2020, I believe, was the April 2020 Patreon release. And I edged it in tiny, tiny rickrack and put some backing, some interfacing on the back. And then a lot of the things in here are either ephemera that I've accumulated over time, or that is a bird picture from National Geographic. This is Lovebug by Ink Circles. Tracy Horner, this was her April gift chart from Patreon. And I thought it was super funky, so I did a bug sticker cut out from a Nat Geo, and then a lot of times I'll just rip things out. And again, I wasn't sure yet. These are the first 2 things I ever put in the journal, so I just put interfacing on the back, and I put these things in so that they could so the charts could tuck behind them and they're not like permanently glued in. I stitched this in DMC on Lakeside Linens. These are bookmarks that were stitched to me by friends. This one is from my friend Karen Bowen. This one I don't remember who sent it, but I love that R. I never realized that I loved this R because it was a Scottish sampler R, but I love it. This one was stitched by my bae, Heather. Link is my homeboy. Back when we both used to do ATC swaps ages ago. So she sent it to me in a little frame, and I cut off this from the back of the frame so that I had her handwriting because I'm sentimental like that. And then I put a really pretty postcard at the bottom because the bee would like the flowers. This is my own design. This is currently in the Lakeside Needlework Summer Book, and it'll be coming out this summer. I'll release the design, but my friend Michelle, Mitch Stitch, stitched this in silks and then sent me a card. So I mounted it on her card and then added my own little information. She ad-libbed that person in though, so don't look for that. Sorry. That's her own artistry. This is a kit that I had forever. This is, it's called Pin Purse Cushion by Old Colonial Designs. And I didn't want to make it a cushion, but I had the whole kit. So then I realized I can make it flat and put it in my journal. So this was one of the first times that I rearranged an alphabet to get my initials in the right spot. And then I just did it up with bunny stuff and carrots and pictures from the chart. Here we go. This is the first of my Quirky Quakers. This is my Porg Puffin. Started and finished on May 7th, 2020. I like to put in here when I stitched it and what I stitched it with. So this is designed by my friend Brianna, and I put a note from her in there, used part of her chart, and then printed out pictures of porgs. And then my friend Carla helped me choose the colors, Sulky 4011 and 4055. So next up, this is Posy Go Round. This is a Patreon exclusive for May 2020 from Ink Circles. And I have been hoarding this floss that I put on the outside edge. I've been hoarding it for ages, and I just couldn't figure out what to use it for. So I used it for this, and then I pulled out some of the colors to do the inside, which Ink Circles are perfect for this. I stitched this in May last year. This is G is for Gallbladder from Heartstring Samplery. I used Beth Twist's cover for it, and then I just journaled down the page. She designed this for Teresa Vanette because Teresa had to have gallbladder surgery and have her gallbladder removed. And then I stitched one for myself and one for Caroline off the grid because Caroline also had to have her gallbladder removed. So this is from an ATC swap that I designed, or I did with my patrons last year. This is from my friend April. She got me. And again, she wrote stuff on the back, so I just did these little flap things so that I could still read what she wrote on the back, but I could still have it in my journal. So I think that's a really good way to put things in your journal without like gluing them down, is you just use those flaps. This is my Patreon chart from May 2020. This is my Peruvian birds. And my friend Anna, when she saw this, she sent me a Peruvian coin. And I think this is Lakeside Vintage Magnolia. I just used DMC. And then I saved this page over here for Pucara Bowl. But now I can't put that Pucara Bowl in here because it has the pom-poms on it. I'm not gonna undo that one. So I have to stitch my own Pucara Bowl. And this is also a bookmark that Anna sent me. So next up is Say Her Name from Brianna. It's the Brianna Taylor chart from Abby Top Knot Stitcher. And again, I just put interfacing on the back, edged it with ribbon, and then I allowed it to be stuck under those. I think I probably chose the wrong floss, or I should have used 2 strands instead of 1, but in real life you can see it better. This is, my friend Sarah sent me this. I said something about an ice cream sandwich feeding the soul on my Flosstube channel, and she stitched that and designed it and sent it to me, and then she also sent me this lovely note. So again, the lovely note goes in the journal with the thing she... and then I just lined it with some trim I have. You'll see this trim over and over. I use it a lot in this journal because it's nice and flat. This is my July 2020 Patreon gift chart. That was a gift to my patrons. I discovered a CC embroidery in June of last year, and I went nuts with it. And I designed a gift chart for them. This will be releasing probably this autumn, so look for that. But it's so cool. It's old. A CC style embroidery is not new. It's just new to me. So I really loved it. And there's that trim again. This is from a pillow that my friend Nicole, you know her as Stitches with Sphinxes on here. Hopefully you know her as that. And if you don't, go check out Stitches with Sphinxes. She stitched me a pillow during the Great Craft Swap of 2015. And she knows I love Neville Longbottom. He's my favorite Harry Potter character. And so she knows I love puns. So... she sent me a pillow with Neville on it that said, "I long for your bottom." I love it. And then Hagrid, and I put the stars at the top and bottom of the page. Here's my next Quirky Quaker. This is my second hashtag. I call them fandom Quakers. The first one was a Porg, and this one is a Pygmy Puff from Harry Potter. So I stitched it in 4032 Sulky, which is the purple, and 4046, which is the pink, and started and finished 920. It was a one-day SAF. This is one of the Tiny Prairie Schooler charts. I always loved it because it's a little hedgehog or a porcupine or something, and it says "stick it here." So it's for me, I feel like for Prairie Schooler is a very sassy thing. And then I have this pin from Just Another Button Co. that I stuck right in there. And this fabric is actually an uneven weave. It's a piece of a curtain from IKEA that was gifted to me from Kim from Canada. She overdyed it. And then this one looks like it could slip out, but it can't. I edged it with some hand-dyed or some store-bought lace and put a little sticky guy on there. This is, holy cow. Let's take a second to appreciate this. This is from my friend Lila in Australia. This is also from the Great Craft Swap year of 2015. I said that Wheel of Time was one of my favorite books. I can't remember what the theme of the craft swap was, but I said Wheel of Time, and there are no, like, I don't even know if I could find Wheel of Time cross-stitch patterns now, but you certainly couldn't find them back then. So Lila designed this and stitched it 1/1 on 32 count with metallic flosses. Do you see the sparkle? So, like, that's a good friend. So I just put some of the super cool ribbon that I found at the thrift store, and then some gold tissue paper. And then Lila doesn't write because she hates her writing, but she types. So I cut up a bit of her letter and put it in there. This I stitched in 2017. This is called Lake Julia's Bees. I had it finished in this terrible, like, square thrifted, the glass is going to shatter and cut us all up in any second thing. So I got it out of that frame and I put it in here. The funny thing is it called for a heart-shaped button to be the doorway of the bee skep, and I didn't have a heart-shaped button, so I just colored a pink one black, but when I re-ironed it, some of the black came off. But this is really cool. Like, that hive is every row of the hive is a different specialty stitch. That was really fun. The pattern is actually in Just Cross Stitch April 2005, and I finished it in 2017. Next, this is, again, from the Great Craft Swap of 2015. This is my friend Adrienne. We were in an Alice in Wonderland swap, and we used to all do this thing where we would embroider and paint the fabric. So it was so much faster than cross-stitching. Like, we were all in 100 swaps. So basically she did, like, I think stem stitch, but she just did straight stitch, or these are split stitch, I think. Really simple stitches for the outlines, and then painting on the inside of the outlines. So really fun, but it's a technique that a lot of us used. And then this one, of course, this is the, what is this? A Squirrel and His Nut. This is a Squirrel and His Nut. See, that's why I should write it on there. This is a Squirrel and His Nut from Luhu Stitches. And Zakia and I salved this. I did mine on 40 count Lakeside linens with my own overdyed floss conversion. It was a super fun stitch, and I just put this down here and this up here are part of the same postcard. I just ripped it up and used the bottom corner and the top corner. Started on September 23rd and finished on September 27th. So, love that squirrel. This is my Traveling Humbug. So Tracy Horner, this is the Humbug by Bent Creek. Tracy Horner sent this to me with a bunch of other charts to destash or pass on or whatnot. So it's hashtag Traveling Humbug. I put that down here, and then I put some bug stickers. I just used a random piece of small count linen that I had in my stash, and then I did a color and cotton conversion. Started and finished on November 9th, and then passed it to Rocio. So I used there's that chenille trim again, and then I used lace around the edges. And then lace also at the bottom of the page. So some of my multimedia pages are better, and some of them are not as good. So, like, it is what it is. This is Spider's Plaything. It was the Patreon exclusive September 2020 from Tracy Horner. I don't know if you're sensing a theme here. But I started this on the 22nd of January this year with Jody and Carla. Jody dyed our fabric and 3 of the flosses. So the bluish white floss is actually a Stitchy Box silk that Liz sent me to try out. And then the purple, the pink, and the gray, those are Jody flosses. And then the dark blue fabric is a Jody fabric. So I totally just invited myself to that sale too. This is Quirky Quaker number 6. This is Lovebirds. I did not do this as a fandom Quaker, and you can see I haven't journaled it yet. But I stitched this on a Lakeside linen with Cottage Garden threads in the colorway Hugs and Kisses. And it was a 1-day start and finish. I used Deanna's Darling and Whimsy logo. And I just put some Sorry silk ribbon on it. And I still have the journaling to do. This is Quirky Quaker number 5, I think. It's actually Quirky Quaker Bat, but I used my antique sticker book to make it Quirky Quaker Zubat. And if you know Pokemon, you know Zubat. So I made a little bit of changes to the original. Here's the original. And then I changed him a bit to be a Zubat. And this ribbon actually, this is a recycled silk sari ribbon as well. Angela put this in the journal for me. So Very cool. And then we're on to the new section. So these are all new today. So this is Waffle Lot. This is from Hands-On Design. So this was in the Black Needle Society Date With Your Stitching box. So I used the cover of the Date With Your Stitching thingy as the background of the page. And then I said, hashtag Waffle Lot Sal with Lady Robin S. and Strawberry Field Stitches started 3rd February and finished 6th April. And I just flat out glued that on there. I didn't do anything to the back of it or anything. This is a birthday card that Kaylin sent me. Kaylin won this chart from me with these little porcupines. They're definitely porcupines now. I thought they were hedgehogs when I was giving the chart away, but it doesn't matter. They're definitely porcupines. But she stitched this for me, and it says, Happy Birthday, Michelle. So I did the thing again where I put this on here, except I put them too close together, and it won't fit under both of them. So her card is under there, and then that just tucks right in. So I always have it in the journal, but I also have her card underneath. And then, so these, I haven't journaled on any of these pages yet because I don't like to write on the page while there's still wet glue on the other side. Here's that chenille trim again. And then I used some lace that was sent to me by a friend. This is Autumn Lane Stitchery, Mrs. Claus. And I stitched that on a piece of 14 count pink Aida. I love how she turned out. And I changed her skin tone. I'll make a note of that when I'm writing in here. This is Winter's Piece from Summer House Stitchworks, and I used the finishing kit. So you were supposed to use this backing fabric and this trim and that to make a pillow, but instead I just glued it all down. And then this right here, Winter's Piece with the deer, and this Summer House Stitchworks logo, those came on a postcard inside the finishing kit. So I used those two. I do not remember where I got that, but I liked it. I like stitching it. And then this is my second to last one. You think it's the last one because I left blank pages, but this is my second to last one. This is the Stitching Book Club Christmas Carol Sal. I don't know why I can't get that out of my mouth. The Stitching Book Club Christmas Carol Sal, and all this has on it so far is just this silk ribbon that's on there. And then I skipped a few pages. Oops. That's okay. I usually take every other of these little pages of books out, but I'll just end up taking the last one out because otherwise this just gets way too fat. This is my last page. This is First Moon Colony by Bent Creek, and this silk, this lace, it's lace that Angela found at a thrift shop, and she put these little thingies on it and just, so I left that in there from Angela, but I stitched this actually in 2017. I stitched one for myself and one for Diana. It is Kismet. And I finished them on trivets, but I ended up taking mine off of the trivet to use the trivet for something else, so I put this in my journal. And then I'll just make a note of that Diana has the twin of it. And then I used some overdyed lace. So I have a few more things in the back that still need to go in there. My Bah Humbug. I still haven't decided if I'm going to finish this into an ornament and send it to my auntie, or if I'm going to put it in the journal. And then this is my 2020 snowman from MG. She stitched that for me. But yeah, that's my journal, and it is quite fat. So this thing is just going to get wider and wider and wider until it doesn't even close. I'm going for why doesn't it just sit like this? It should just sit like that. That's how I'm going to display it from now on. So I have some journaling to do, but thank you all for going through my my stitchy journal with me. I hope you had a good time. I had a good time. And I will see you